Hello chaps and chapettes, Prussian Quill here. I thought I'd start this video, with it this way round, just to sort of follow on from my video from last time. Obviously I was speaking last time about how things were a bit bad for me and life wasn't going too well. Firstly, thank you to everybody that reached out. Thank you to everybody that was there to talk to me. It's lovely to see that this is actually a community in the sense of that, and it's brilliant. Thank you ever so much. Things are resolved, things are sorted out, things are looking more positive now, things are on their way up, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, is brilliant and going to be more positive for me now, hopefully going forward. I just wanted to sort of add that on the front here before I go into the hobby. So I had to clean out my cabinet, or move some bits around in my cabinet where I keep my Black Templars figures that I've been painting. And I thought, as I had to get them out anyway, it'd be nice to do a bit of a display as to what I've done so far and how things are looking, especially as I'm going to be doing a Black Templar piece for the Jean Model Bow and Scale Model Bench Christmas challenge that they do every year. So I'm going to flip the camera around now and I'll show you what I've sort of basically painted, or in some cases built, so far for my Black Templars. So yeah, just wanted to start with saying things are going well, and thank you everybody for reaching out. I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, I've had to go freehand for this one, guys, because there is a lot of it and I haven't got enough room to pull the camera back enough to get this on Steadicam. But here's a group shot, as you can see, of all the different figures that I have painted up. For a project that was just a bit of a fun in the background, it has grown exponentially, as these projects always do, with various different bits. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just pause, put the camera down, and then we'll go through bit by bit and look at the figures and sort of just talk a little bit about them. So, right. Okay, so let's start with the command guys. So the first one here is the Templar. This is a converted Iron Hands figure, special character, converted up to be a Black Templar. So he's got a Black Templar head there, and the shoulder pads are the Black Templar ones. And it's still the original one, but this one's a Black Templar one. Painted up in the red and the black of the Tech Marine Force, but he's got the Armageddon Crusade there on his little shield, just like everybody else. Yeah, so he's come out quite nice. So these are all meant to be like on sand bases as part of the Armageddon Crusade. And various different figures and stuff. So there'll be orky bits all over the bases as well. Obviously the third war of Armageddon was against the orcs. Let's pull him out of the way. And then this here was, I think, the first figure I did. So this is a converted librarian into an apothecary. Obviously the Black Templars, if you don't know, don't do librarians, burn the witch, burn the heretic. So this is my conversion to an apothecary, because I want the apothecaries to lightly armoured medics running across the battlefield to look after stuff. So he's got a Grey Knight helmet there, because they had the very knightly helms before the Black Templars. My grade sprues came out. This was the only way to get these sort of knightly helmets. His shield there again, and then painted up with the white armour and the red trim of the Apothecarium. And yeah, so that's all of him. Now I've actually got on the Space Marine transfer sheet another set of Apothecary decals, so there'll probably be a second one coming up at some point, so I can make use of them. Here's my Captain in Gravis armour. So again, just some slight conversions there. So he's got a Grey Knight helmet to give him the knightly helmet, and then the Black Templar shoulder pad there. And then yeah, he's just painted up. So he's got the sword and the gun, which is a nod back to one of my first Space Marine models, which was the Terminator Captain. I've actually got the new plastic Terminator Captain from the Combat Patrol magazine, so I can remake him, which is nice to go into this force. But yeah, so this is the Space Marine helmet. That's the figure's original helmet, because I wasn't going to use it, so I put it on the base. But yeah, so that's him. I won't go through every single figure in this much detail, but I'll do the characters. And then this was the Marshal, from the Black Templar Combat Patrol set. I didn't want him to be as he was, because he had this weird, like, punching the sky kind of pose, which you can sort of see from on the back. He had an axe or a sword there. So I turned him instead into the standard bearer, carrying the Armageddon banner, which is a tinfoil banner. That's a bit of a pie dish, like the thick tinfoil you get to cook food. And yeah, just painted him up as a standard bearer, as an ancient, I think they're called in the game, aren't they? And then the brown tabard to denote him as being part of the command forces, opposed to the pale one. And then the last sort of character, well, I've got two more characters. The next one is my converted chaplain, which I did a video about. So he's converted from lots of different bits, legs from one, arms from another, head from somewhere else, etc. Just because I thought that the Black Templars are more about chaplains than they are around librarians, so I really ought to have one. So that's him there, all made up, with his Crozius, his pistol. The cape is from a metal Sisters of Battle figure. And yeah, so that's him. And then the last character is the Emperor's Champion, which is 99% out of the box. I changed the shoulder pad because I wanted to use this one with the little, we're going to focus, with a little bit of canvas there, just because I thought that'd be nice. I painted him up with gold shoulder pads to mimic the look of the what's it called? The company champions, who traditionally have gold trim on their shoulder pads. So to do that, he's got the gold as well, just to make him sort of in that champion mode. He's got the white tabard like all the Crusaders, to go through that. So if you look at my forces, the different levels of figure have different colour robes. So only Crusaders have the beige ones in my force, whereas sort of the commanders and stuff have brown ones, and the non-Crusader guys have the brown ones as well, just to sort of represent the idea that the Crusaders are the elite guys, and so they've got the whitey ones. And obviously the Emperor's Champion will be part of the Crusaders. So that's them. And then I'll slide to the right. Excuse the shaky camera bit there. So these are my sword brethren. So I've just tried to make each and every single one of them look individual. These are basically sergeants. These are the elites. So this guy here, sword and pistol. This guy's got dual swords. Again, this is a reference back to one of my earlier Space Marine armies, where at the time I was very taken with, what's it called? Dynasty Warriors, the Dynasty Warriors game. One of the characters in that, Liu Bei, has twin swords, and I was really taken with him. So yeah, that's that guy. All of my sergeants have got back banners, you'll notice, but all of the sword brethren have got back icons as well. The classic Wolverine pose. I'm not sure why Games Workshop has decided that all people with with lightning claws now have to be Wolverine, but they have, so that's him. Another pistol sword guy. This guy's got a flamer pistol, just because, again, flamers are something I very much associate with Black Templars. So that's his one. And then, I think this is my favourite one. He's got the double-handed chainsword there, which is a conversion from a Thunderhammer and the chainsword from the Gravis Captain. And yeah, just absolutely, he looks so much like he's out of Dark Souls. I love it. But yeah, so that's him. So that's the sword brethren. Let's put let's put that to one side, and then we'll slide into the middle here. Oh, sorry guys. As you can see, high quality production here. Let's pause. So in the middle here is my Crusader Squad. So this is the guys that go around chopping people up. So these are just your basic out of the box ones. They're all got the white, the beige tabards, except the Sword Brethren Sergeant here, who I've decided to give a dark one to for some reason. But again, he's a lovely conversion I've done running up this orc with his double-handed sword. Just going to go and take it to the enemy. So the sergeants of the Crusader Squad seem to be Sword Brethren, but not the basic squads. So that changes the base size, which does give you a bit more room to have a bit of fun. And they're just, yeah, basic guys here chopping it up with their swords and pistols. One more. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Oh, I like this one. The drawing the sword from the sheath. I mean, could you get much cooler than that in these designs? And yeah, so I've gone through with all of them and I've put some script on them. Sometimes it's transfers, sometimes it's freehand. Just because I think that's very much a Black Templar thing. And then in the Black Templar squad, you can take neophytes, so junior guys as well, like their squires, to be part of the force. I've managed to get 3 of the ones from the box set painted up. And at the time I was making these, I was using 1-page rules, and you couldn't take Black Templars, so these guys would have to be their own squad. So I've added a sergeant character in here, which is a sergeant of Phobos armour, but used the Black Templar arms, so he's holding his helmet and his sword there and shooting his pistol. Just because I like the idea that this guy was like sort of halfway between, and that he's therefore his job was to look after the neophytes. And here's the 5th one that needs to be painted up. As you can see, he's got 3D printed shoulder pads because for some reason I was a set short. And yeah, chucking his grenade, and you can see all the different bits that are on there, on the base and stuff. So yep, so that's Crusader Squad. And then painted up 10 intercessors. Again, these are split into 2 squads, but I just run them as one if I want to. And then I'll just count one of the sergeants as the sergeant and the other one as just a corporal or something. Oh, let's move them out of the way. There we go. So yes, these are just your basic intercessors, so just guys with guns. So this guy, and this guy are not 100% finished. I need to finish painting this one, and these 2 need their decals, but the rest are all done. One there with the grenade launcher, and some of these you've seen before again, you know. So yeah, so these are just my guys, my basic guys, to lay down some firepower. Not much really to say about them. So there is a mix of Cromlech and Games Workshop in this army. So you'll notice some bits which aren't officially Games Workshop. Sliding over to here, it's my Venerable Dreadnought, obviously the old tiny one, painted up. He is solid metal and weighs a ton. So yeah, the only thing that's wrong about him is his hand was broken, so that's a Forge World resin one, opposed to the metal one, because the metal one was absolutely chewed up and destroyed. Sliding over here, my 3 flamer guys that I showed in a video a little while ago, so I'm not going to talk much about them. Keep sliding over. This is my Dreadnought. He's been with every Space Marine army I've ever had, so I'm glad that he's still around. The tank at the back here. There we go, the tank at the back here. Yeah, you've seen the conversion different videos for this. It's a nice little piece. I'll probably run it as a Razorback, so that's a transport version. which will allow me to bring some troops onto the battlefield and to get them across the battlefield opposed to slogging it across by foot. And then the latest additions, you saw these 3 scouts in a different thing, but I've also made up 3 eliminators to go with them. And what I'll do is I'll run the scouts as their neophytes and then the eliminators as eliminators. So that'll give me a squad of 6, and it will have that whole neophyte full battle brother thing going on again. Just working with that. And yeah, so I've done some stuff to try to make these a bit more like Black Templar. So they've got various different. That one's got a shield. This one's got a little purity seal there and purity seal on the back, and stuff like that. And then this one's got purity seals as well and different trinkets and stuff hanging off of him. It was a bit hard to try to get the Black Templar stuff on these guys because of the various different the lack of retail space, because so much of it is taken up by their capes. And then the very last piece, is just this dreadnought here as well that I finished off a few months ago. So guys, that's just a very quick tour through my Space Marine Black Templar force that I've done. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. And I tell a lie. There was one more figure which I've completely forgotten. He's been sitting here on the side. And that's my little buggy there from Station Forge. Painted up as a Black Templar recon buggy to go out across the wastes of Armageddon and take on the orcs. So now I'm done. I hope you guys enjoyed this force. I hope you liked it. As I said, thanks to everybody that reached out, and I will hopefully catch you in a few days to start the Advent calendar, which I really ought to get ready setting up. Better do that. Okay, have a good one, guys.